welcome to my channel. Today I will be making a special soup close to my heart that I fell in love with called teow. It's basically a Thai noodle soup. So first I have the water boiling the star anise seed. And I do this separately so when it's done boiling and seasoned the water enough with the star anise flavor, I can take the seeds out. While the the star anise seeds are boiling, I'm going to cut up my vegetables. And the first vegetables I'm cutting up are, of course, the celery and carrots. And I'm cutting them up small so they can also season the soup. While my aniseed is cooking, I'm going to add in, see it getting nice and hot? I'm going to add in some chicken bouillon. You can add your favorite kind, a vegetarian version, but what I found is the Knorr chicken bouillon that has a little chicken fat as well. But like I said, if you want to make it vegetarian, more vegan, you can find a vegetarian version. So I have my boiling broth. I added in 3 chicken bouillons, and now I'm going to add salt before I take out the aniseed. So I'm going to use pink Himalayan salt. You can use whatever favorite salt you have, but I like Himalayan salt because it's healthier for your body. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to taste. And I like to taste as I go, so the broth is perfectly to our favorite taste, me and my kids. So these aniseeds have been boiling for 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take them out so I can add in my vegetables. Now it's time to add in the celery and carrots. Give it a little mix and let it boil again for about 10 minutes. Also to this soup, I'm going to add in some Chinese broccoli tips. And of course, you have these as well. The bean pods, or whatever. I do not know the exact name. I never get it right, so that's why I call them that. But you're not going to add this to boil with the rest of the celery and carrots. You're going to lightly steam it near the end, right before you put it in your soup. Then I have my wonderful little onions here. This is going to be a garnish, and the cilantro is going to be a garnish as well. So I'm going to go ahead and finally chop these up, put them together in a bowl, and put them aside. And there is our cilantro and green onions ready to be garnished over our soup. But until then, we're going to take our garlic, use the grater, and grate it very finely into this little pot of oil that is warming up on medium-high right now. But I'm going to make garlic oil. That's also a garnish for our soup, and it will add such a strong, beautiful garlic flavor to the broth once your soup is in your own bowl. So I have my oil here ready to go. Once again, on medium heat. I have my grated garlic. I grated 4 large garlic cloves, and I'm going to add it into our oil. Make sure you have a spoon ready to mix. It doesn't take a long process and will burn easily if you're not careful. So I'd say 1 to 2 minutes of boiling in the oil. Here's our garlic oil. Like I said, 1 to 2 minutes should do it. Stirring very often. Do not leave it on its own because it will burn. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pour it into a cooler pot and let it sit. Because it will burn even if you take it off the stove. There's our toasted garlic oil, ready to garnish our soup. Also, while our soup is still simmering with the celery seasonings and carrots, I'm going to be boiling the eggs. This will go in as our protein for our soup, or if you want your own meat like chicken, you can always get a rotisserie chicken, put the legs pieces or whatever pieces you want in the broth while you're prepping everything else. But I'm going to use eggs this time, so I have it getting ready to boil. Probably about 11 minutes. Now here's our Chinese broccoli tips. I'm going to rinse them off thoroughly and then pull off the leaves off the stem, because we're only using the leaves for our soup. So now we're going to start the process of assembling our soup. Since all the major parts are done, we have our broth, our egg, garlic oil. I have hot water right there. We have our broccoli that's been rinsed and taken off from the stem. We have our garnish. I'm going to be using bean thread noodles today because it doesn't mess up the blood sugar as easily as just the white rice noodles. I'm going to go ahead and put them in this hot water, get them al dente, I guess you can call it, and put it in a bowl.